LinkedIn is pretty amazing at helping you grow your small business. We cannot stop your new clients from emailing you at 3 a.m. We can help you sell, market, and hire in one place. We cannot help you be in 3 places at once. And while we can't help you organize your calendar, LinkedIn can help you land more clients so you have a calendar to organize. Grow your small business on LinkedIn. Learn more at linkedin.com/smallbusiness.
You have one new message. Translating. Disney and Pixar's Hoppers is now available on Disney+.
You could say that again.
Critics are calling it Pixar's funniest movie ever and a wildly entertaining ride. Blizzard Potato. It's certified fresh and verified hot.
Now we party.
This is incredible!
Wow, I am clearing the rest of the day.
Disney and Pixar's Hoppers, now available on Disney+. Rated PG.
All right, we've been talking about it all morning long. It's today. It's Thursday. It's the parade, the first Knickerbocker Championship in 53 years. You know, I was telling somebody a couple days ago, I know that the Knicks are giving out championship rings to a lot of people that didn't play, like family members, and there are 2 guys in particular. You may think it's funny, but I'm being deadly serious, that I think deserve rings this week, today. One of them is, believe it or not, the former coach, Tom Thibodeau. I know Mike Brown got us over the top, and Mike Brown will now forever be a part of iconic New York sports history, just him and Red Holtzman. But Thibodeau set Mike Brown up for success. That's what I believe. The other one is Marv Albert. I know Mike Breen is the best in the business. Mike Breen and I are like brothers. He's a Hall of Famer, not just a Knick voice, but the voice of the NBA Finals. He's the greatest. But I think Marv Albert set Mike Breen up for success. So Thibodeau and Marv Albert should get rings this year. And with that said, here he is, as a little boy to now, my favorite announcer ever, the greatest, Marv Albert. Good morning, Marv.
Sid, thank you for the kind words. I disagree with that, though, because I think you have to be part of the team, and that's very kind, but I don't think that really would hold true. And I got my rings in 70 and 73, where I was part of the situation by doing the games, so that's a different story. But thanks anyway, Sid.
No, you're welcome. Well, tell me, Marv, tell me this. The relationship between you and Jim Dolan, you know, a lot of people say that it was bad. By the time Marv left, it was bad. Others say, well, it wasn't that bad. What is really the relationship today between you and the current Knick owner?
Well, there's no real relationship. He was unhappy that I would at times criticize the team if they weren't playing well. I just don't believe in broadcasting like that. So there is no relationship. I certainly respect what the Knicks have done. I think also the great thing about this team is the fact that there are so many good people on this squad. I mean, it's such a likable group of guys, as we see as they make more and more appearances during the course of, following up on the championship. But no, that's very nice. But there's no way that someone who's not attached to the team anymore should deserve getting a ring. And it really doesn't matter to me at all. I got my rings.
No, and you listen, you got, like you said, those 2 great ones, the very first 2, and I guess you started about 4 or 5 years before the Knicks finally won it, and you stuck around till I think like 2004, a long time with the Knicks organization. Of course, you've also got the only Ranger ring in like the last 90 years. 90?
Right.
Well, 1994 when you called. I'm sure you've been asked this a million times. Those 2 Knicks wins in the late 60s, early 70s were amazing, and now we've won again. But the Rangers... Would you consider that the greatest of your career?
I actually think the 70 Knicks would be in that particular position. I mean, that team was so good when you think about, greatest team in NBA history. I mean, they wouldn't be, say, top 5, but they'd be in the top 10 with Clyde and Willis and DeBusschere and Bradley. In 70, it was also Barnett. Then Earl joined them, and he was a member of the 73 championship team. But those Knick teams were also unbelievable, particularly 69-70. They won their first 5 games, lost 1, and then they won 18 straight. So they started at 23-1 in 1970, which was incredible.
Yeah, some people have this team ahead of them. Look, it's different eras. It's hard to compare. But, look, I still think those guys are the best. I know where's Jalen Brunson belong, and some people say now he's ahead of Patrick Ewing because Ewing didn't win, so he's number 3 because Clyde and Willis each won 2 championships. Right. Others say maybe Jalen is number 1. For me, if I did play this game, and I don't, if I did, I still have him behind Walt and Willis because they each won 2, and Brunson had 45 that deciding game, which was amazing, but you can make an argument that Walt was responsible for 74 points against the Lakers because he put in 36 and dished out 19 assists. Either way, Jalen Brunson, what are your thoughts on this guy? What an amazing series, specifically the last couple of games and that final game.
Yeah, he was incredible all season long, but it makes for good discussion. I agree with what you're saying. I look at Willis and Clyde as 1 and 2, and then you can make an argument there for Patrick Ewing, even though he did not win a title. And then Jalen is right in there. But it's a fun discussion. Even when you talk about different great teams in different eras, you have to start with the Chicago Bulls in 95, 96. The regular season was like 72-10.
Yeah.
So there were several Celtic teams that were unbelievable, Laker teams. The Lakers of 86, 87, I thought were spectacular. And that Knick team, particularly in 70, was an amazing group.
You would put that Knick team, you're talking about the Larry Bird Celtics, obviously, and the Magic Johnson, Kareem Lakers.
Right.
But, if you really want to go back, and you were around for these games, I wasn't, but, those Russell Celtic teams, they won the championship every year. They had like 5 Hall of Famers, Marv.
I mentioned that. Yeah, the Celtics, too, as I said. Yeah, there's no question. They are, in terms of several years, you'd have to put them right up there with the Bulls. There's no question about it. And some of the Laker teams in more recent times, like 10 years ago or so, when Kobe was there and Shaq, those were great teams. So it's a good argument for people to make. Fans like to talk about it, but we'll see with Jalen. What he did was unbelievable, particularly when you look at his size.
Yeah.
I know he's listed as 6'2", maybe he's 6'1", but he is such a spectacular player. I mean, there's no question about it.
Study and play come together on a Windows 11 PC. And for a limited time, college students get the best of both worlds. Get the Unreal College Deal. Everything you need to study and play with select Windows 11 PCs. Eligible students get a year of Microsoft 365 Premium and a year of Xbox Game Pass Ultimate with a custom color Xbox wireless controller. Learn more at windows.com/student offer. While supplies last. Ends June 30th. Terms at aka.ms/collegepc.
This episode is brought to you by Tidy Cats, here to level up your litter game with their new Performance Plus lineup. Your home is your happy place, your cats, VIPs. So when it comes to the litter box, excellence isn't optional. Choose from products that specialize in max power clumping, low tracking, or odor fighting so advanced, stink won't see it coming. Tidy Cats Performance Plus. Mission mighty, keep it tidy. Shop now at tidycats.com.
This summer, soccer is here, and so are the watch parties. And Uber Eats has your game day essentials covered with 30% off orders from Aldi, Kroger, and Dollar General. Everything you need to keep your crowd happy, delivered straight to your door. Chips, dips, fresh ingredients, and more. Order in so you can lock in for the games. 30% off your grocery order, only on Uber Eats for a limited time.
Tomorrow morning is knocking. Stock your fridge now. How about a creamy mocha frappuccino drink? Or a sweet vanilla? Smooth caramel maybe? Or a white chocolate mocha? Whichever you choose, delicious coffee awaits. Find Starbucks Frappuccino drinks wherever you buy your groceries.
This is that voice. You know that voice, the greatest. Marv Albert. I love this guy so much. And it's always great to have him on these epic days in New York sports because he is the voice and will always be the voice of New York sports. And we're talking about this Knick team. And, you know, again, Mike Brown now becomes part of that conversation. Only 2 Knick coaches ever have won championships. And did you ever think, you know, a couple of years ago you'd put Mike Brown in the same sentence as Red Holtzman? But don't look now. There he is, the only other Knick coach to win one.
Yeah, well, Red won 2. So, you know, we'll see. But, you know, Mike was always a very good coach. Even, you know, coaches get fired all the time. And certainly that happened to him in a couple of places. But he was also an assistant on a couple of championship teams. I know Steve Kerr loved having him alongside him when they won championships. So, you know, I'm so happy for Mike. He's really a great guy. When I was doing games, he was always tremendous to talk to. He's a very likable person. You know, I think not only with players but with all the people around him. So I'm really happy for Mike.
And Marv, you were too humble to accept the ring, which I did offer to you. I haven't asked Olin yet, but I offered it to you myself. But I mentioned 2 guys. I mentioned you and Tom Thibodeau. And, you know, look, Tom did not get the Knicks to the NBA Finals. He fell 2 games short, let alone winning an NBA championship. Mike really took us to the next level, but you'd agree that a lot of these players and a lot of the groundwork was set by the solid work of Tom Thibodeau the last couple of years.
Oh, I agree with you. No question. But I don't think a coach who has been with the team but didn't win the championship is going to get a ring ever. That's not going to happen.
Not. I know.
But Tom is a great coach. There's no question. But what Mike did this season, I mean, he made some changes. He played more people, and you know, you're not going to give a coach from, you know, previous years a ring just because they helped develop a team.
Yeah,
you just can't do that.
No, but I just kind of kidding, but not really, because I do want to put out there that I do appreciate what Thibodeau did the last couple of years. And you're right, Mike was better. He played more guys, right? Thibodeau was very stubborn about his bench, and it turned out working out well because that Knick bench, you look at what they did, you know, individually at times in this series, from McBride to Mitchell Robinson to Chandry, you know, to Landry, I should say, to Alvarado, how big he showed up. So
he was terrific. Yeah, in spots. I mean, he was able to. He's pretty amazing in what he was able to do in very short periods of time. He was a tough kid. Yeah. Very tough.
He was.
Out of Brooklyn.
Yeah, Brooklyn, that's right. Even Jordan Clarkson. So he actually had 10 guys that he can go to. Mike Brown.
Yeah,
pretty amazing. So you know what's amazing, too, which Joe Beningo pointed out to me a couple of days ago, I know you were on his show, too, was that, Marv, when you were doing these games and the Knickerbockers were winning championships, that a lot of those games were actually on tape delay. Is that right?
Oh, on TV, yes, they were delayed, yes. Certainly the finals were delayed. Yeah, we had an amazing radio audience for the Game 7, the one where Willis walked out at the last minute because it was on delay. So we were live, and it was, at the time, it was said to be one of the biggest radio audiences in New York history. You know, so that was a break for us to have the radio while TV went late at night with I believe it was Chris Schenkel and Jack Twyman, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. But you know, this is such an enormous basketball city. You know, you have backboards, hoops everywhere, and it's probably the most popular sport in New York City because kids and adults can play it. You know, so it's a little different than, say, baseball. Or obviously ice hockey, although more kids are playing that now than in the past. So basketball is huge in the city, and we see what the victory by the Knicks has done in terms of the turnouts. I mean, there were never such things as watch parties beforehand. That's a new one, you know.
Yeah.
And of course, some of them became over the top unruly, but it was really something to just see all the fans that came out. That's never happened in any other NBA city when they won a championship.
I've never seen that. And you're right. Look, even football, expensive. You got to buy shoulder pads and a helmet. You got to get all those guys together. Baseball, you need 9 guys and hopefully grass and not rocks, and hockey's equipment. Two guys show up at a basketball court, and we got all these amazing courts from West 4th Street in Manhattan to Marine Park in Brooklyn to Rock. I mean, all these amazing parks. And I do believe this is the home of street basketball dating back to the days of Hawkins and Alcindor and all those guys who played outdoors, Chris Mullin, Marine Park in Brooklyn. But I do want to go back to the last point you made. We'll let you run, the great Marv Albert, talking about how big this is for New York City. You know, God's good to me. I'll be 60 in April. You know, you'll be, I guess, 40 this year. So we both seen up. We both seen our fair share of champions, and Giant band, and except for the Mets in '86 and the Rangers again in '94. But to your point, I've never seen anything like this with this 2026 Knicks team ever.
We haven't. No, there's no question about that, and it kind of it's brought a lot of people together. You know, you didn't expect that. I mean, you know, there are always a lot of basketball fans, but what we've seen now, it became party time when you can fill up Radio City Music Hall and they're watching it on a big screen, or you can, fill up areas around the city and they're watching it on a big screen. I never thought I'd see that. And I don't think the Knicks expected that kind of reaction either. I mean, they knew they had a lot of fans. There's no question. But to see the kind of reception throughout the city is the first time anyone has seen anything like that in any city after a championship.
I have to agree. And it's perfect today because this is the big celebration with the parade coming up in a couple of hours. And City Hall, the mayor's going to give the keys to these players. But what made this day so perfect is that on a day when we're celebrating a Knicks championship in New York, I have Marv Albert on my show. So I win. I win, Marv. I win. I got my ring. I got you. Thank you, Marv. Good to talk to you, my friend.
Always a pleasure.
God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you. God bless you. There he is, the all-time great, my favorite since I'm a little boy, and still amazing, Mr. Marv Albert. We'll take a break. More of the Thursday edition, the celebratory Parade Day edition on New York Knicks Championship Day, right here on Sid and Friends in the Morning on Talk Radio 77 WABC.
Thanks for listening to Sid and Friends in the Morning. You can hear Sid and Friends in the Morning weekday mornings at 6. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder,
what the heck is going on here?
Have no fear, Chosen Foods is here to defend your favorite foods from the forces of seedy oils and sketchy ingredients. With cooking oils, salad dressings, and mayo, all powered by the good fats from 100% pure avocado oil and simple, delicious ingredients. Chosen Foods.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.